I looked at the traffic pattern of the coaches and myself within the gym and looking at how frequently we had to turn to see athletes. So instead of looking at how much time are we wasting by driving our UPS truck, I was looking at how many movements are we missing simply by not seeing it by how our gym's laid out and where the athletes are. The greatest coach in the world cannot correct a movement that he never saw. All right, guys, welcome back to Jerk Block Talk. I'm Jason Fernandez. We are here at CrossFit Rife. And for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you noticed that we just did a complete kind of reorganization of the gym. And here's the major reason why. I read a book not too long ago called Team of Teams, written by General McCrystal. And the premise of the book is streamlining the dissemination of information. And in that book, he talks about all sorts of stuff. He's a big time historian. If you have not seen any of his talks or read any of his books, incredibly intelligent guy. But when he's talking about streamlining and optimization, he talked about how UPS streamlined their truck routes years ago, and it saved them millions of dollars in gas. And what he talked about was how UPS looked at all of their traffic routes and they eliminated as many left turns as possible. What they did was trucks were sitting at lights, in idle waiting for a left turn, and they said they had a lot of fuel wasted by trucks that just were not moving. So they rerouted everybody to take as many rights as possible, and it sped up their routes. They were able to deliver traffic faster, or packages faster, and save fuel. Now, why does that matter? It matters because I looked at it this way. I looked at the traffic pattern of the coaches and myself within the gym and looking at how frequently we had to turn to see athletes. So instead of looking at how much time are we wasting by driving our UPS truck, I was looking at how many movements are we missing simply by not seeing it by how our gym's laid out and where the athletes are. The greatest coach in the world cannot correct a movement that he never saw. So if you guys remember, our pull-up rig used to be long ways across the back of the gym, and if we had a workout where we would have something like thrusters, pull-up, and running, if I was down here looking at thrusters and checking on athletes running, I could have athletes down there that I would never see doing pull-ups, and I would not be able to correct them. So let's talk about traffic patterns here. If I was doing that old traffic pattern, if you want to follow me down here, I would have to walk down here, and then I would have to go make a left and turn down here to see an athlete. And in the meantime, what I would be doing, I would be missing what's going on over here. So what we did was a lot of people rearranged their gym, and what they're trying to optimize is like how many athletes can we fit in the space. So most people, when they rearrange the gym, they're looking at athletes, or they're optimizing for athletes. When we rearranged it this time, we optimized it for the coaches, which is a thought I had like a couple months ago, and then we started putting this all into play and finally finished it yesterday. So when we set up the gym, we optimized it for the coach to see as many athletes standing in one spot as humanly possible. So if you look here now, we essentially have a straight line down the gym, and if I was standing on that end or on this end, I can look down the line and I can see everybody no matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter if there's athletes over there. I really have not a whole lot going on over there anymore. And again, if you guys have kind of watched the videos, we usually have a lot of weightlifting going on here. But the point now is I can stand here, I can look down the line, and I can see pretty much everything I need to see. And what that's doing is that's optimizing my ability to see and correct movement by minimizing the amount of moving that I have to do as a coach. Now, you should always be moving to get an optimal position to see each individual person's movement. But if you can eliminate those blind spots within your gym as a coach, depending on how your gym is laid out, it gives you opportunity to see things that you would otherwise be missing. And I knew that was happening for a long, long time based on how we had the gym laid out before. So we laid this out, and it looks a lot better. It's a lot cleaner, and by design, it kind of actually facilitates lanes, how we set up the gym. So now all of our athletes have a lane in front of each pull-up bar when we set it up. that way and that way. And again, the coach literally can just walk a straight line and eliminate virtually all turns to go left and right. It's literally just a head turn now, and the coach can be as efficient as possible moving up and down the line. But the big thing here is I can see everybody in a straight shot, whereas I would have athletes over here before and I would have been down at that end of the gym and I would have been missing, you know, sloppy active shoulders in the pull-ups or something of that nature when I was over there looking at thrusters. So if you're going to rearrange your gym, I encourage you to look at it not from the standpoint of like, hey, how can we do it, rearrange this so that we optimize it for the athletes, optimize it for the coaches. Because what that's going to do is that's going to actually allow your coaches to produce a better product for your members. The more efficient a coach can be, the more he's going to be able to correct movement. People's movement will get better, therefore their fitness will get better. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I had not thought about that as long as I've been doing this, almost 10 years, until about 6 or 8 months ago after I read that book. So when we relaid out the gym, we laid it out this way, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So yeah, optimize your gym for the coaches to see things, not necessarily to fit the maximum amount of athletes that you can on the floor. So I thought it was super interesting. Team of Teams by General McCrystal. I'll link it up in the show notes here. And if you like this content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.